Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today we have a pleasant surprise in the Tier 8 Dalian. This is the campaign ship. Just got it unlocked today. And what we're going to do here is our command, or our build and play guide. So, as you can see here, we are using Azure Lane Harbin. If you don't have Harbin, uh, Chen Shao Kahn will work just fine. And we are using uh, Makawa and Mambali as our inspirations. Obviously, her base trait is Dragon Power with Beyond Range Igniter, back in stock, Blazing a Battle Dance, and the Fully Packed. Now, you could take some other perks if you wanted to. I actually tried building this into torpedoes at first, and that was not, I don't think, in the ship's best interest. You can do it if you want, but I feel like this is definitely best served as a fire starter with decent torps to go with it. So for our upgrades, we are using Aiming Systems Mod 1 prop, and concealment is always in the last or the second and third slot, and our last modification is a main battery Mod 1. Now I actually did have torpedoes on it for a little bit. Like my first couple matches, I built into the torpedoes thinking because of the detection it might be insane. It's definitely not bad. You could build into the torpedoes. I would build into the guns, and I'll show you why here, guys. Damage, as you can see here, we have 4 heals. They're not the world's greatest heals, though. So just remember that. These are basically, you can heal some back, but it's not a lot. Smoke generator, they are a quick, short burst. They do, you can actually move around with them a little bit. You'll see in the match that I have, I do a little bit with them, and they do reload relatively quickly. Defensive AA definitely comes in handy. It has respectable AA. I wouldn't say it has the world's best AA. Another thing about this ship, guys, before I forget, this Janan is an Atlantic class cruiser, basically, right? A tiny cruiser. Dalian is smaller than that by a lot. So this ship is absolutely tiny uh, when you start to realize it. So it's just one thing worth noting. We'll talk a little bit more about that down the road. 35,000 hit points. So you don't have the world's most amount of hit points, but you can use it better than you think. Artillery, it has basically 5-inch guns, guys. These are tiny. So you're going to get a lot of shatters with HE, but with this build that you can see I'm using, you have 10 guns every 4 seconds with a 15% fire chance. It is pretty impressive. And do not sleep on the AP. When you get a double fire on someone, which will happen, I can assure you that. Uh, you can switch over to AP and get super structures real well. I was actually surprised with that. Again, you have 10 guns every 4 seconds at a 15% fire rate. It's pretty gnarly. That I mean it I don't know. Maybe Blazing Dread, but this starts a lot more fires than I was assuming, and this should, in my opinion, be known as a fire starter. You do have 12 torpedoes, 6 per side. They have good firing angles. Also, with this too, uh, the main guns, the range, you get over 15 and it can be hard to aim because these are real lobby shells, by the way. Um, and for the torpedoes, you have, like I said, 6 per side, and they're not bad. They're not like huge damage or nothing, but and they are a little bit slower. You can build into them if you want. They reload relatively quick too, or it feels that way. AA defense, it's not terrible. I wouldn't say it's the greatest ever, but it's definitely not terrible. You will shoot down planes with it. Maneuverability, it's pretty darn solid for a cruiser. 33 dots. Turning circles really good for the tier. It is a smaller ship though, so that's why. For the size, probably not the world's best turning circle, but still, you can dodge and weave in this thing quite easily. Concealment is 8.6 on this build. If you do full concealment, I did when I was doing my torpedo build, I was down to 7.9 on that build. So definitely could get in close. Statistics. I had lost my first 3 matches. The first 2 I was built into torpedoes and didn't do much. And since then, this thing has been about 100,000 every game. A consistent, pretty consistent. And outside of my first 2 battles where I wasn't, 2 to 3 battles where I wasn't really taking heat, I've been averaging like 1,000,000 potential damage against me every game outside of them first couple. All right. This thing can get away with way more than you think. I'll show you the armor here in a second. You can see even with these lobby guns, the accuracy is pretty solid. And I'm surviving 2/3 of my battles. This thing is, in my opinion, I don't know what other people are saying about it, but I absolutely love this ship. Now, granted, I like a lot of ships, but I really had fun. I got my game in the 4th game in it, and I decided just to keep playing it because it was fun. All right, so that lets you know, how much I actually enjoy it. Now, armor. At first, you're probably cringing looking at this, right? It's 16 basically all over, meaning everything over a heavy cruiser, and you are a glass citadel, except for this ship is tiny. I've only been citadel being dumb, and I've been dumb a lot in this thing. I've only been citadeled once or twice. Like, battleships overpin the crap out of this thing. It is not a very, even though you have to be more worried about cruisers in this thing. I think that's more of your, cruisers and destroyers. Battleships, they're like, it just seems like they overpen me every chance I get. As we start the match, it's disclaimer time. This is a beginner's video meant to help people new to the ship or new to the game. This is not meant for professional gamers that know everything there is to know about everything in the universe. There are multiple ways to play and build this ship, and I am an above average player, not the world's best. I make mistakes. You may see one in this match. You didn't come here for pronunciations. I'm as good as anybody at slaughtering beautiful languages all the time. With that out of the way, we are on Warrior's Path, and we spawn middle. You guys know it, we stay middle, right? Even in a light cruiser. That's just how I am. There's very few times I will not like the middle spawn. In fact, this match is going to be another time of me showing you can affect a lot of a match by not being terrified of the middle and not being too overly aggressive. So, one thing about Dalian, guys. You can use your broadside when you're close. You're going to get overpinned. Even at distance, you get overpinned. You're going to see that in this ship. It has really good detection. So like you can see, I'm sneaking up here to the island. And what I'm doing is I'm checking my smoke firing penalty, which is insane. I think it's like 4.4 or something. It's crazy. You're basically a destroyer killer. So this is basically what Atlanta class cruisers were made for in real life. They're just an oversized destroyer. And what we're going to do here is we're going to wait. We see that the other destroyer is in the cap. We see our buddy in the Friesland, who apparently, as you can see, just on our first thing, we shot down 9 planes. So the AA is definitely okay. And even with the Friesland next to us, who is probably going to shoot down like 1,000,000 planes in this match. I don't know how many he shoots down, but he shoots down a lot, I can assure you. So you can see we kind of used our smoke, snuck up here towards the cap so we can help our destroyer. We are taking some shots at Salem, but at this range, it's not really a whole lot, but we do get a fire. And that's one thing with this ship, man. I've had some of my best fire starting games in this thing, and that's without even having spotting. Now, that is the one downside of this ship. When you're up close like this, is we do get our hands on the destroyer here, and we are going to hit them with 4 shells. But the one thing is if you don't have a lot of spotting, it can be rough. For example, our Friesland is just going to stay by this island, so we're not going to have a lot of spotting. So if you're a player that plays divisions, this ship is even going to be even stronger. Now, I knew torpedoes would be coming. I thought I was angled well enough, but there's not much I can do here. I do eat one. And you can see the heel there. So, not the world's best heel, but remember, this ship don't have the most health either. So, as we are out of our smoke, we're going to back up. We didn't get a lot on our smoke, but we did back up that other destroyer. Of course, there's an Atlantico sitting behind an island there. He could have been very handy in that moment. But you can see this carrier is going after a Friesland, so he's going to get a ton of XP on shooting down planes. And we're going to actually help him shoot down some planes. So, respectable AA. And we're actually going to go ahead and start to turn out. You can see AO Richelieu is here, so we're being careful. But you can see here, we do have a smoke already up, so pretty darn quick your smokes come. But outside of that, guys, you just can't be scared in this thing. You can get away with a lot more than you should. Our destroyer is actually just going to stay there. Beginning of the game, between the carrier and all the other ships, kind of a rough go. We're going to start to shoot the mountain and show it who's boss. The Z-23 is there, so we're going to take a pot shot at him really quick. And actually, we're going to get a lot of shells to hit, I believe, on this salvo. And we do get yet another fire on him. So, again, you can see pretty accurate for what it is. But because of the shell type, or your only 5-inch guns, you can see we're shattering a lot of shells right now on this battleship. Even into the superstructure. Kind of one of the downsides of it, but you're going to see in this match, even with the slow start that we just had, the first 5 minutes, we only had 10,000 damage. We're going to have ourselves a solid game and a bunch of fires. If I had spotting in this ship and was able to shoot, this thing wouldn't surprise me to get 40 plus fires on one of these matches. It is just obnoxious on how many fires this thing actually can get. But again, the shell type with the shell size, you're going to be shattering a lot of shells. It's just part of the ship. As you can see, we have AL Richelieu on fire. He is warm. But we're going to go ahead and pop back in our smoke. And really, at this distance, you can see we weren't getting detected while we were in our smoke. We do end up getting Richelieu down. And now we're going to kind of showcase the getting away with stuff you shouldn't get away with. Right now, this poor Iowa, if you're watching, I am so sorry. Just keep in mind, I think we set 10 fires on this Iowa. I could be wrong, but I think it's 10. There's one there. I think we're going to get another one here in a second as well. And this Atlantico and this Iowa, I am sorry if you are watching. I think did we just get? No, we didn't get one there. But so we already have a couple fires on, or one on Iowa. We're trying to switch back now because the cooldown is down. We could probably put him on fire again. And you can see this thing reloads so quick, man. You see we got another fire on Iowa, and we're gonna start to turn on Atlantico. One thing I will say is because you have so many shells in there, as we get our second or third fire now on Iowa for a double perma fire. You're gonna get a lot of fires, and you're gonna have to be really careful. And this match is gonna showcase that quite well. This Iowa is gonna be just dreaming of being burnt on fire, have nightmares about it, and there's not much. I end up putting him on fire a few times, but you can see how lobby these shells are. So we're gonna actually use smoke here to let Atlantico come in close, even if his secondaries do start to hit us, as we get a double fire right away on him. Even if his secondaries do start to hit us, as somebody actually hits them pretty good, we're not too scared. We're a pretty small ship, and secondaries I've avoided a lot of secondaries in this. So we had three fires on the Iowa. Why not some more, right? And you can see we went from winning the middle of the map, right, to now we're affecting this whole flank on the right side, and we are gonna go ahead, and we're not too worried about Iowa. I know it sounds crazy. I mean, it is accurate, but man, battleships have had a really tough time citadeling me in this, and I have done some dumb stuff in this. This is a ship that you get away with way more than you should, and you can kind of rely on it, and I don't say that about anything normally. But we're going to go ahead and start to get some more shells on Iowa. We don't really have nothing for spotting right now, obviously, but our smoke is almost done. You can see we've had a couple fires on them. And we're going to just continue to lay into them. And this thing is really good at kiting as well, because you can dodge a lot of stuff as we get our, I think, 4th or 5th fire. And there's our 5th or 6th fire on him. And we're actually, you're going to see, I switched to AP right away. But you can see we did a 3rd one. I think that's our 7th fire, and he got a damage. Obviously has fight fire with fire, but look at this AP. This AP is actually going to shred him for a few rounds before I switch back over to HE. And, you know, a couple thousand doesn't seem like a lot, but man, when it's every 4 seconds, it adds up really quick. And all of a sudden, we have ourselves over 100,000 in this game. And you can see here, he does go dark, but we're going to end up getting him on fire yet more times. It's pretty gnarly here. Like I said, if I get a good match where I don't end up double, you know, starting a bunch of fires, you know, and putting my own fires out on these guys, you could have a really wicked game in this thing. This thing could be a lot of fun. So, I think we have 7 or 8 fires on him. Why don't we try for some more? This poor Iowa, man. And the worst part is, there's not much, even with Iowa's accuracy, like, even if he hits me, there's a double fire. I think that's 10 already. Plus, I think we're going to get another triple fire as we're starting to try to put on, yep, we got another triple fire. So you was put it out. So wasn't trying to, but I already had them shells up in the air. So you got it. One thing, this was one of my earlier matches in it. You kind of got to get used to that. And you could have up, oh, we had another fire. So actually, we had like, I think like 12 fires on this guy. I felt so bad for him. And in his battle, when you're in a battleship, there's not much you can do. And of course, you don't get the kill for it. But Suzuya, we're going to go ahead and throw some HE his way. We had AP loaded because we had the fires. And we are going to go ahead and not get an assist, actually, on Suzuya. But it wouldn't have mattered. We would have been able to take him out as well. And this is actually still a very close fight as we fast forward. I'm going to get myself in the position because it looks like these guys are going to fight for the B cap. And you can see they are. My cruiser buddy doesn't have a lot of health. So I'm not going to smoke up here. I'm going to actually try to bait sail him into shooting me, but he is not going to. And we're going to get a couple more fires just because. And you can see, even with the slow start, we are racking fires up in this thing. I don't know what the most fires I had in this thing as we get our high caliber and another 2 fires. But you can see it comes very quickly, right? We're also spotted, so we know the battleship is near here. He just hasn't shot yet. We're going to go ahead and push up. And the reason we're going to push up is we need this cap, right? Like, this is a close game. We could, you know, if, you know, we're going to probably lose that cruiser, right? That's what the thought process is. So that's going to make this a very tight game. We cannot give up the points from B. And honestly, getting close up in this thing, you're pretty safe. Especially with these torpedoes. You can do some dumb stuff, but you can see how good the torpedo angles are on this thing. You can basically shoot them right in front of yourself. You aim them right in front of yourself. We're going to throw some on that side of the island. And then we're going to get ready to throw some on the left side of the island. We know the battleship is coming. It's a Picardy. Harlem is actually going to do a good job. Our teammate's going to get a couple plane drops on him. And we are actually going to wait for him to come around the corner. There's no reason to rush him, this Picardy. But we can absolutely just wait and then burn them up here. Because obviously Harlem is going to put some fires on him. As you can see, he definitely did. And then damage con, our Harlem goes down, kind of like we thought. We have torpedoes out in case he goes straight out. If he turns towards us, we are going to just burn him down. I mean, our plan is to see him and then burn him down. And there he is. And even though he, is kind of knowing where we are, we're going to go ahead and just shoot. And the carrier, we're going to take down some more planes. And again, let him shoot his guns off. And we're going to get 3 more fires instantly. And that poor guy, after we get our Witherer, is now dead. And even with the slow start, we end up with 24 fires. Pretty solid. With a 145,000 damage game. Not the world's most, but we were effective with our damage, even helping take out a destroyer, a high caliber, a wither. Our Friesland probably shot down 1 million planes, but we still did really help our team out in winning this match. You guys have a wonderful day. I will see you folks next time.